This entire country is completely full of shit and always has been. From the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution to the Star-Spangled Banner, it's still nothing more than one big steaming pile of red, white, and blue all-American bullshit. Because think of how we started. Think of that. This country was founded by a group of slave owners who told us all men are created equal.
George Carlin once said America is a big lie, and I was listening to the speech of George Carlin. May God rest his soul in peace. He was criticizing America, and yet he's America. He's one of the white peoples that have seen that they are criticizing America, their country, that we all think of a big dream. We all think of America being a country of dreams, honey and milk, and all that was being sold in the media, the page, the front page of America, all is a big lie. Now, George Carlin said America is a big lie because he believed that the country's ideals such as freedom, equality, and justice were often contradicting by its actions and systems. Carlin was highly critical of what he saw as the hypocrisy of American society, where political, economic, and social systems benefit the wealth and powerful while marginalizing others. Now, he urged that the government and corporation manipulated the masses and are selling them a version of American dream. Of course, they sold to us American dream that was more fantasy than reality. And these sentiments reflected his broader view that the country promoted false narrative and distractions to keep people from questioning the status quo or challenging the entrenched systems of power. Carlin, while he was giving this speech, you may thought he was a comedian. People are laughing. But truly, when you listen to this speech keenly, you will know that George Carlin was right. It has taken people like 70 years to believe what he was saying. I want us to listen to this speech of George Carlin, and then we will talk about it, or we will react on it later. Thank you.
You can say what you want about this country, and I love this place. I love the freedoms we used to have. But you know what? You can say what you want about America, and I say I love this place. I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't live in any other time in history and any other place. But say what you want about America, land of the free, home of the brave. We got some dumbass motherfuckers floating around this country. People living in this country. You're bound to know that every time you're exposed to advertising, you realize once again that America's leading industry, America's most profitable business, is still the manufacture, packaging, distribution, and marketing of bullshit. High quality, grade A, prime cut, pure American bullshit. And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources. Advertising, politics, salesmen, not true. Bullshit is everywhere. Bullshit is rampant. Parents are full of shit, teachers are full of shit, clergymen are full of shit, and law enforcement people are full of shit. This entire country is completely full of shit, and always has been. From the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution to the Star-Spangled Banner, it's still nothing more than one big steaming pile of red, white, and blue all-American bullshit. Because think of how we started. Think of that. This country was founded by a group of slave owners who told us all men are created equal. Oh yeah, all men, except for Indians and niggers and women, right? Always like to use that authentic American language. This was a small group of unelected white male land-holding slave owners who also suggested their class be the only one allowed to vote. Now that is what's known as being stunningly and embarrassingly full of shit. And I think Americans really show their ignorance when they say they want their politicians to be honest. What are these fucking cretins talking about? Tell the truth. Don't be bullshitting people. Like I say, there's enough bullshit as it is. There's enough bullshit as it is. In fact, there's just enough. Did you know that? There's just enough bullshit to hold things together in this country. Bullshit is the glue that binds us as a nation. Where would we be without our safe, familiar American bullshit? Land of the free, home of the brave, the American dream. All men are equal, justice is blind, the press is free, your vote counts. Business is honest, the good guys win, the police are on your side, God is watching you, your standard of living will never decline, and everything is going to be just fine. The official national bullshit story. I call it the American okey doke. That's what they do with that kind of stuff. They put it in the heads of kids. They pound it in there because they know kids are too young to be able to mount a sophisticated argument against these kind of ideas. And so kids, and up to a certain age, by the way, kids are going to believe everything a grown-up tells them. Everything. So kids never learn to question things. Nobody questions things in this country anymore. Nobody questions things. Why? People are too fat and happy. People are way too fucking prosperous for their own good. Everyone's got a cell phone that'll make pancakes and rub their balls now, you know? So nobody wants to rock the boat. And people just gizmo. Americans have been silenced, bought off and silenced by gizmos and toys. And as a result, no one's ever learned to question things. No one questions things. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice capades. Something is definitely wrong. Things that are pissing me off, because I don't have pet peeves. I have major psychotic fucking hatreds, okay? And it makes the world a lot easier to sort out. You know, it would be great for a guy like me just to be in a coma. Huh? Wouldn't that be great? Nothing to do all day. You just crap out and breathe through a fucking tube. They feed you through a tube. There's nothing to do. Whoa, you talk about being a couch potato. That's it, man. No phone calls coming in, nobody dropping by unexpectedly. And if they do drop by, you're completely unaware of it. Because you're in a fucking coma, and you're practically clinically dead. And you know, airport security is a stupid idea, it's a waste of money, and it's only there for one reason, to make white people feel safe. That's all. The illusion. The feeling and illusion of safety. Because the authorities know they can't make an airplane completely safe. Too many people have access. You'll notice the drug smugglers don't seem to have a lot of trouble getting their little packages on board, do they? No, and God bless them too. What we have now is a completely neurotic population obsessed with security and safety and crime and drugs and cleanliness and hygiene and germs. There's another thing. Germs. Where did this sudden fear of germs come from in this country? Have you noticed this? The media constantly running stories about all the latest infections, salmonella, E. coli, hantavirus, bird flu, and Americans they panic easily, so now everybody's running around scrubbing this and spraying that and overcooking their food and repeatedly washing their hands, trying to avoid all contact with germs. It's ridiculous, and it goes to ridiculous lengths.
Welcome back. Now, upon George Carlin said this speech, I saw a lot of comments from white people and black people, because some of them, it has taken them a lot of years to realize that America is one big lie. The dream that we were told about America, it is a big lie. And everything, justice, equality, the freedom is a big lie. And the social something and something, everything that we were sold to us, the American dream, is a big lie. That was the message of George Carlin. And I've seen comments, a lot of people agree with him, saying that yeah. Even one is saying, now I'm 80 years. It has taken me many years to know that George Carlin was speaking the truth about the American dream. So, when we talk about American dream, we talk about equality, we talk about freedom, we talk about justice. Does America has freedom? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. Does America has freedom? No. America does not have freedom. Because yes, a lot of people see America often as a country with freedom due to the fundamental principles of liberty and individuals' rights. Okay, many urge that this practice or these freedoms are not always accessible to everyone equally. There's some people who have this freedom. Some of the reasons people might claim like America have no freedom is because of systematic inequalities. Systematic inequalities like racial, economic, and social inequalities. Okay, this persists in the US, limiting the freedom of some people. For instance, people of color, melanated people, or we say black people, Latinos, this freedom is only for the few race, or this freedom has racial limitation, where some people will benefit on this, including equal opportunities. Like when you go to look for jobs and everything, you may find that white Americans are, on the front line, but black Americans are getting limitation. That is not freedom. It is not freedom when you are being discriminated. And mind you, this is the country of black Americans. This is the country of Asian Americans. Just like we say, white South Africans are from South Africa. So all of them need to access this freedom equally. But because of race, they don't access, and that's why we say America is a big lie. What they said about freedom for everybody is a big lie. Another thing, voting, education, housing, and criminal justice system favors some people in America. Now, the freedom has limitation to some extent. Some people are benefiting from the freedom, but some are not benefiting from the freedom. Now, does America has freedom? No, because corporate influence and political corruption, the influence of wealth corporation and lobbying groups on the political system often skews policies in favor of the rich and powerful. Now, listen to this. When this is happening, it creates an environment where average citizens may feel their voices and interests are drowned out by the influence of money in politics. As I say always, America is for the rich Americans or rich white Americans. So if you are middle class or you are low class, you may feel like your voice is not heard because the rich people in America, they are the one who are bonging and bongering. You know what I mean? Another thing is surveillance and privacy concerns. Now, when we talk about freedom, you need to have privacy. When you have your privacy, you may say you have freedom, okay? But with the rise of digital technology, surveillance by both the government and private companies has become a growing issue. The Patriot Act and the surveillance program, or the Patriot Act and other surveillance program can infringe on Americans' privacy rights, making some feel less free in their daily lives. And when we talk about surveillance, we talk about the microchips, we talk about the tapping your phones, So there is no freedom there. No freedom there. Now, the US has one of the highest incarceration rates in the world. Overly harsh laws, particularly in areas like drug offenses, have impacted some communities, like melanated communities, leading to a system and restricts the freedom of many individuals, especially the black and Latinos population. For example, when Donald Trump was giving his speech, or he was saying that Latinos, some of them are criminals, rapists. So simply because few people in the community, few Latinos people, like 2 or 3 Latinos did this crime, now everyone in that community is labeled as crime. Everyone in that area, everyone in that street who is of Latino or who is melanated is categorized as, just because few people did that. And they are forgetting that even the white people themselves, most of them have crimes records. Some of them are doing crimes, but they are focusing on black people so that they can continue to corrode, they can continue to to disrupt our minds. So the dream of America or America itself is a big lie. America itself is a big lie. When you talk about freedom, there is no freedom. Now, when you talk about freedom, we have something we call social control through media. People argue that much of American freedom is an illusion, as the media and consumer culture often distract people from pressing issues and manipulating public opinion. The media and advertising industry are said to create false sense of choices, just like even in Kenya, William Ruto will create false advertisements saying this and this, and we as the people will lack the ability to say no, or we lack the ability to channel our views. That is lack of freedom. Limited access to health care and education. Some people, some marginalized people or race, they don't access to essential services how it is needed, like healthcare and education. So freedom to pursue their goals like healthy lives or have the opportunity to succeed, it is limited. It is limited because these services are for the few people, maybe, you know. So when you say America is a big lie, yes, it's a big lie. George Carlin talked about injustice, inequalities. When you talk about justice, does America has justice? No, the America does not have justice. Why they don't have justice is because of racial inequality, segregating people, discrimination, like African Americans, Latinos, and other people of color. They are affected by policies or by police brutality, by racial profiling and unfair sentencing. And this is making America dream to be like, nah, it's not a dream. It's not a dream. Economic equality and access to legal representation. It is so hard for people who, melanated people to get these economic equalities. Now, wealth plays a major role in how justice is served. People cannot afford a high quality legal defense, often receive poorer outcomes in courts. Poor defenders who are overworked and underfunded may not provide the same level of defense as private lawyer. So there is no justice here simply because of wealth status. Now, when you talk about police brutality, mostly happening in melanated people, violence caused by the police, especially against the people of color, results to little or no consequences from officers involved. They are just there, So another thing is political influence and corruption. The political influence of powerful interest groups such as the private prisons, companies and corporations can lead to biased political and legal outcomes. So there is no justice in America. There is injustice, there is inequality, there is no justice in Kenya. Not in Kenya. There is no justice in America. No justice. And that's why George Carlin has said that America is a big lie. I want each and every black people who is living or who wants to go to live the America dream to listen to this video, to watch this video, because it speaks a lot. I'm saying it speaks a lot because George has said the truth on this. He is the only man I have seen who is criticizing the government of America and is living there. He is American, who is criticizing the government, and just like that, he died, but he was really big deal. I don't know if he died. Tell me in the comment section, please. I'm sorry. If he didn't, tell me in the comment section. I'm very sorry. I haven't confirmed that. But the name is George Carlin. And this is the speech that everyone is looking for. Every black people is looking for this speech. Okay? Tell me what you think on the comment section about this video. Do you think America is a big lie? Or do you think it was a lie to say America is a big lie? Until next episode, peace be with you.